Love is often seen as a force strong enough to heal wounds and overcome any obstacle. But sometimes, the truth is far more painful than any fairy tale we choose to believe. We cling to the hope that love will protect us, that our sacrifices will be enough. Yet, it is often the very forgiveness we extend that sets the trap for our own heartbreak. Mimi devoted 8 years of her life to Max, a man drowning in alcohol and burdened by a painful past. She loved him unconditionally, believing her support could help him rebuild his life. Through her patience and compassion, Max found stability, and together they built a family filled with hope. To Mimi, their love was unbreakable, a testament to the power of devotion. But beneath the surface of their seemingly perfect life, a dark secret lurked. When Max suddenly passed away, his death unraveled a devastating truth. As Mimi grieved, she uncovered a betrayal that shattered her world. The man she had trusted, the one she believed was her soulmate, had been living a lie. Sorting through his belongings, Mimi stumbled upon messages revealing an affair. At first, she dismissed it as a misunderstanding, but the deeper she dug, the more undeniable the truth became. Max had not only been unfaithful, he had secretly involved himself with a much younger woman, Lisa. Memories of his late nights, distant stares, and sudden mood changes now made sense. He had been deceiving her all along. The realization hit Mimi like a tidal wave. The years she had spent helping him heal, the love she had poured into their marriage, it had all been built on lies. The man she had fought for had betrayed her in the most unforgivable way. Her home, once a sanctuary, now felt like a prison of painful memories. As she pieced together the fragments of her shattered trust, Mimi faced an unbearable truth. Love had not saved Max, and in trying to save him, she had lost herself. But amidst the pain, one thing became clear. She would not let his betrayal define her future. It was time to let go and reclaim the life she had sacrificed for someone who never truly valued her love. All the sweet memories and joyful moments Mimi had shared with Max now felt like fleeting shadows. Max confessed his torment, claiming his actions stemmed from love and protection. He insisted that his meticulously planned death was meant to end his suffering, a final act to shield Mimi from horrifying truths. His words hit her like a storm. How could suicide be protection? How could love coexist with lies and betrayal? She felt like she was drowning in a nightmare, trapped in the wreckage of deception. For years, she had fought to help Max overcome his alcoholism, believing they could rebuild their lives together. Now, she realized it had all been in vain. He had lived in a world of lies she never even knew existed. The sting of betrayal suffocated her, shattering her belief that love could heal all wounds. All that remained was emptiness. Her world crumbled further when she discovered Max's messages. The man she had loved revealed a side of himself she could never have imagined. His words, dripping with dark desires, cut through her like blades. Each message deepened the wound. Each secret shattered the illusion of their shared life. The home she once found safety in now felt like a trap of deceit. She was drowning in confusion, unable to reconcile the man she had loved with the darkness he had concealed. Then came the ultimate betrayal, the video. It unveiled unspeakable truths, shattering her last shred of hope. Every frame was a dagger to her heart. How could the man she had sacrificed so much for harbor such vile secrets? The love and trust she had built turned to dust. Anguish and fury consumed her. How had she been so blind? The weight of the truth crushed her, leaving only a hollow void where love once lived. Confronting Max, she demanded answers. Why? Why did you do this to me? But he could barely meet her eyes. His confession came in a broken whisper. his past, wounds, his self-loathing, his belief that he was unworthy of her love. Mimi's heartbreak deepened. Why had he chosen deceit over honesty? Why had he shattered her world instead of facing his demons? The truth only made the betrayal more unbearable. Then, silence. The next morning, Mimi awoke to a suffocating stillness. The devastating news struck. Max was gone. His suicide, a final escape from his sins, left her paralyzed. A letter lay on the desk, his words slicing through her heart. "I'm too toxic for you. Ending my life is the only way to protect you." Overwhelmed, she read the letter over and over, each sentence twisting the knife deeper. How could he believe death was an act of love? How could he abandon her without answers? Grief and anger intertwined. She would never get to ask him why. He had taken his truths to the grave, leaving her with an endless void. She stood in the room, haunted by memories, drowning in unhealable pain. Was his death an escape, or had he truly believed it was a twisted form of protection? The questions gnawed at her, leaving her lost in a storm of sorrow. Then the most painful realization struck. She wasn't just mourning his death, but the horrifying truth she had uncovered. Every cherished memory was now stained by betrayal. And yet, amidst the wreckage, Alexis, Max's child, remained. How could she look into the innocent eyes of the little girl without being reminded of everything that had transpired? She longed to love Alexis, to offer her a home, but how could she, when every reminder of Max's darkness still clung to her soul? Mimi stood at a crossroads, trapped between love and pain, between the past and the uncertain future. Could she ever escape the shadow of Max's betrayal? Could she find a way to heal? Mimi stood at the crossroads of her past and future, her heart burdened with the scars of betrayal and loss. Max had shattered her trust, leaving wounds that refused to heal. And now, staring into the innocent eyes of Alexis, she felt torn between resentment and an unfamiliar longing to protect the child. Could she love Alexis without allowing the ghosts of her past to suffocate her? Could she separate the sins of the father from the child who had done no wrong? Every moment with Alexis was a battle within herself, a struggle between the pain Max had inflicted and the possibility of something new, something pure. Mimi questioned if she could truly move forward, if healing was even possible. Forgiving Max seemed easier than forgiving herself. She had held on to sorrow for so long that the idea of releasing it felt impossible. Yet, she knew that if she wanted to free herself, she had to let go. Driven by unanswered questions, Mimi began to unravel the secrets Max had buried. She combed through messages, dug through forgotten conversations, and pieced together the fragments of his past. What she uncovered was not just betrayal. It was a history of pain, wounds that ran deeper than she had ever imagined. Max had been shaped by a cold mother, crushing expectations, and emotional turmoil he had never escaped. His lies were not just acts of deception, but desperate attempts to break free from his own suffering. For the first time, Mimi saw him not as a villain, but as a man drowning in his own demons. Understanding this didn't erase her pain, but it reshaped it. She could no longer see Max as just the man who had hurt her. He was also the man who had been hurt himself. The weight of her discoveries left Mimi at a breaking point. She could not continue pretending. She could not live in a home filled with the echoes of betrayal. Standing in the quiet room, surrounded by memories of love and loss, she made a decision. She would leave. Not just the house, not just the life she had built with Max, but the pain that had imprisoned her. But there was Alexis. Mimi couldn't walk away from the child who had been caught in the storm of adult mistakes. Despite her conflicted emotions. She knew Alexis deserved love, stability, and a future untainted by past sins. Deciding to adopt Alexis was not just an act of kindness, it was a declaration of her own strength. Mimi would not let Max's past dictate the child's future. She would protect Alexis from the pain she herself had endured. The journey ahead would not be easy. Raising a child while nursing her own wounds meant facing darkness she had long avoided. But Mimi understood now. True healing did not come from forgetting the past. It came from accepting it, learning from it, and choosing to move forward despite it. Standing in the emptiness of the house, Mimi felt the burden of years lift slightly. The pain was still there, lingering in the corners of her heart. But for the first time, she also saw hope. The past would always be a part of her, but it would no longer define her. With Alexis by her side, Mimi stepped forward into an uncertain future, not with fear, but with strength. She had survived the worst. Now it was time to build something new, something beautiful, a life where she was free.